Oh, that is good fun. Hey guys, Abner Miranda here. Welcome out to the range. I wanted to show you guys something that I built a while back, and I'm still kind of tweaking it a little bit, and I'm probably going to end up changing the sights a bit. But for now, this is what I'm working with. This is an 11.3 that I built as a truck gun. For those who, okay, there's the fantasy truck gun with all of the zombie slayer garbage on it, and then there's a more realistic truck gun that has the mindset of less is more. And this is the mindset of less is more, and I will immediately address the lack of a weapon light on this weapon. Those of you who have had night training, I've had stack loads of night training, will be able to tell you that the second you turn on a weapon light, you're basically emblazoning a gigantic sign around you that says, shoot me right here. Because in darkness, the brightest thing draws your eyes. And I mean, like, you almost don't have to try and aim. Someone pops on a light, that's where all the bullets are going immediately. So if you're talking about a truck gun, if you're talking about a survival gun, then that's why this is set up the way it is. Now the cool thing about this setup is, and this is going to blow your mind when I say this, and I waited again this morning just to make sure that I wasn't misremembering this. This gun set up as it is 5 pounds 11 ounces. Now that's everything. That's all the ladder panels, that's the rail panels, that's the forward extension here, obviously minus ammo, of course. But to get a more realistic view of the actual weight of the gun, I pulled off the ladder panels and the handguard panels and the forward hand stop. Oh, and also the 2-point sling mount. And because I wanted to get the weight of the gun if it didn't have any of the unnecessary superfluities added to it. And the weight of this gun set up ready to fight is 5 pounds 6 ounces. Now you got to understand, 5 pounds 6 ounces is a redonkulous weight for an 11.3, which is essentially just a tick off 11.5. For those that don't understand AR-15 builds, when you're talking about dwell time, you're talking about the time that the gun requires to stay locked. You pull the trigger, the weapon has to, the case is under obturation, which means it's swollen inside the chamber. And there is a period of time where you pull that trigger, the bullet is long gone. And the gases have now traveled back through the gas tube and they've entered the bolt carrier group. And these two little holes right here, you see a double jet of flame and smoke come shooting out of here. And then an instant later, this begins to unlock and it starts to extract the casing that was in there. And in that time frame, if the casing has not shrunk back down again, it is actually being extracted while it's under obturation, swollen. And that's when you run the risk of the back end of the casing being ripped off. And I've actually seen it in training before, a gun that was so bad that the back end of the casing came off, and I went, I have never seen that, and here it is right in front of me finally. And those are the types of guns that will create stovepipe jams, that they will create the issues where the gun travels so fast to the rear it actually bounces off the back of the buffer tube and it flies forward again, and you end up with the casing never even having gotten out of the way because the extractor skipped off the rim of the casing, and now you have that partially extracted casing, and the next round trying to get up in the hole, and it's just an absolute cluster, and you end up having to rip out the mag and rack, and get the mag back in the gun, and rack the gun to get back in the fight. And it's, guys, it creates a problem. Well, I've seen it. I've seen pretty much every malfunction there is, so I paid very close attention. Well, the question that some of you are going to have is, how did I slow this gun down? Well, you're not going to see it because of the handguard panels, but I have a Superlative Arms gas block in here. And the Superlative Arms gas blocks allow you to dial up the pressure or dial down the pressure exactly where you want it to be. And yesterday I was talking to a viewer on one of my channels, or I'm sorry, one of my videos, who was asking, well, you know, why is it that you haven't returned that barrel to ballistic advantage? Because it's overgassed. It's actually, we're talking about this one here. We're talking about my absolute favorite blaster. This is a 416R stainless steel barrel that is a 16-inch fluted, 223 Wild. I mean, this gun is just butter. It also has a Superlative Arms gas block. And the guy was asking me why I haven't returned that barrel back to ballistic advantage, because it's overgassed. It's terribly overgassed. And I said to him, because you know what? The industry has become what it's become because the consumer, me and everybody else out here, wants cheaper and cheaper and cheaper ammo, and manufacturers are sick and tired of dealing with the problems that are made by cheap ammunition. So all barrels are now overgassed from the factory. Sorry to have to tell you that, but everything is. Which is why you now have to slow the guns down with stiffer springs, heavier buffers, adjustable gas blocks. You have to, because if you don't, the gun eats itself over time. So I set this gun up to be ready to go, and it'll actually eat 223 and 5.56. This is actually true mil-spec M193, and it cycles it just fine. You saw it going over my right shoulder. All right, so the question is, how is this gun so light with an 11.3-inch barrel? Because it's a .625 profile. It's very, very thin, and yet accuracy is not a problem. I can hit at 300 yards easily with hard sights on this gun with very little effort. Once I flip it from ghost ring to peep sight, that front sight post crisps up and I'm able to get long shots with it. And you guys have actually seen this gun running before with an RMR on it from about 275 that day, and I wasn't really trying that hard to hit. So yeah, it's a doable thing. The purpose, if you will, of this video is simply to get that aha moment for you guys, to help you to understand that there is the true truck gun, and then there is the zombie slaying truck gun. And if you have the idea of a true bushcraft truck gun, then you should always consider light. Always consider lightweight. And consider not having the weapon light, because remember, you're going to have a light on you. In fact, you're going to have multiple lights, because I've got lights here. I've also got a light back here. I've also got a light here. If you are prepared, you're going to have multiple lights, and I also tend to wear a headlight, and I tend to just put it around my neck and hang it right here, and because I can turn it on for admin stuff. So whenever I go to training, guys, I have a bunch of lights on me, because people have been injured during training that I've been to, and we had to render aid. And when you need light, when someone's hurt, you need a lot of it, and you need it now, but you need it concentrated. So I know I'm probably going to get a lot more questions than I've probably created more questions than created answers, but I want to give you guys unfettered knowledge as best I can, and I'm not looking for cool guy points. I just want to give you guys information. So if you have any questions, and I know you do, hit me up, and I will try to have a list of all the goodies that are on this gun in the description section, and I may even do an actual review on this gun at some point. But guys, truck guns should be light, and they should be agile. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out and practice. Have a good one.